Hey everyone, it's the Monday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks here on January 26th. Before we get started, I did post on social media earlier, but I want to take this opportunity to express our condolences on behalf of everyone here at WFMJ and especially in the weather department. Our condolences to Don Guthrie's family and all of his colleagues over at WKBN. We lost a true legend in broadcasting here in Youngstown today, a real legendary meteorologist who really made his mark in not only this market but many others. And there's many meteorologists scattered throughout the country, including our very own Andrew DiPaolo, who worked with Don, interned under Don, and he really had a positive influence on their lives. So again, we want to express our condolences to Don's family and his colleagues. Well, our storm is in the wind down phase, that much is for sure, and overall this went pretty much as planned. Our forecast worked out pretty well. The zone of heaviest snow amounts was roughly around Route 30 and just to the south as well, kind of in this zone through here. Notice how many 6-inch reports there were. Dover, New Philly, heading over towards Carrollton. And then in our viewing area, we did have a couple of reports of 6 inches down here in southern Columbiana County. There's one, and then another one over here towards Calcutta. A good solid half foot down there. And then as planned, amounts did gradually get lower as you went off to the north. 4-inch report here in Lisbon. We did have 5 reported up here in Salem near the Mahoning and Columbiana County line. Officially at the airport, I think I saw a little over 3. It's not showing up plotted on this map, but I think a little over 3 officially at the airport. And then about 2.7 over here in Newton Falls. Now, these are valid as of early this morning. It's possible that we've added to these totals a little bit. So in general, if we generalize, the forecast we've had out since Thursday and Friday worked out just fine. General kind of 1 to 3 up here, and then a 3 to 5 zone, and then a 5 or 6 zone down here in southern parts of Columbiana County. So it was enough to shovel and plow, cause travel disruptions, lots of school delays this morning. Roads are improving this afternoon. It's still slick in spots, though, so be careful. As I record this at 2:19 p.m., real light snow in most areas. It's a little bit on the moderate side down here in Columbiana County, but the back edge is slowly rotating through. Let me put the radar in motion. For the most part, this is non-accumulating snow, with the exception of maybe some of these heavier bands that are trying to move through central and southeastern Columbiana, heading over into Beaver County, PA right now. For the most part, though, we're done with the accumulating snow here across northeast Ohio and into western parts of Pennsylvania as well. Temperatures this afternoon are cold, so plot up those temperatures, take off the radar. It's chilly out there. Temperatures this afternoon are in the upper teens, lower 20s in most spots, 23 at the airport, 24 Newcastle, 27 Akron, Canton. Taking a quick look at the country as a whole temperature-wise, you can see where the major weather features are. Big ridge out here. Look at that warm air. It's 70 in parts of Kansas this afternoon. But a big trough, of course, here in the east with lots of cold air. And, of course, unless you kind of live under a rock, you know that there's a blizzard coming to much of New England, parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, but especially New England. Now, this storm system is taking shape right now. It's in its kind of organizing phase. Basically, what's going on is the Clipper is kind of handing off its energy to a storm which is off the coast. So our emerging storm is here. What's left of the old Clipper is kind of centered just east of Pittsburgh, but this becomes the main storm from here on out, and it really is going to what we call bomb out as it comes north and east. And this will be a bona fide blizzard with sustained winds 40 to 50 with some higher gusts, visibility almost 0, and snowfall rates tonight into tomorrow morning, 1 to 2 or 3 inches per hour. And we think that the corridor of worst weather will be roughly from northern Jersey and New York City up through the Boston area and into what they call down east Maine, southeastern parts of the state of Maine. The National Weather Service snow forecast looks like this. Let me take off my drawing tool here. This is for the Boston to New York City region, the official National Weather Service forecast. Numbers may be a little hard to read if you're watching this on a small video player, but there's a 31-inch prediction out in east central Massachusetts around Boston, 2.5 feet. New York City up to 2 feet. This is a tricky forecast in some spots, though, on the western fringes of this. New York City in particular, you know, the models are there's subtle enough differences that New York City could end up with just a foot. I say just a foot. But in the worst case scenario, they get 2.5, 3 feet. It's going to be somewhere in that range. A little hard to say exactly what, but you know, you want to People over there need to really pay attention to the impacts instead of chasing every last inch. The amounts are unimportant once you get to a certain level. The impacts, power outages, being stranded, that sort of thing, definitely a big time concern up here in southern parts of New England with the blizzard. All right, back home. Let's talk about our weather for the rest of the week. Quieter weather tomorrow. This is Tuesday afternoon right here. There's our big blizzard, and there'll be a few flurries around here and there tomorrow. No big deal for us. Kind of a gusty wind from time to time. It's going to be a pretty raw day out there tomorrow, but look at this just massive storm just cranking up east of Cape Cod. This will be one for the record books up there. Our next interesting weather comes our way by Thursday. Wednesday is a pretty sunny day as high pressure drifts across. Here's Thursday, another one of these clippers coming in. It's kind of a parade of clippers right now. Here's the center of the low, Thursday afternoon. If this track were to be exactly right, we'd be dealing with some mixing central Ohio, but probably all snow for us, or most of us anyway. And the timing, if it were to be believed right now, this would be midday on. Probably not first thing in the morning, but midday on. And then let me turn off my phone. As we get into the evening on Thursday, it'll probably start to wind down as the storm continues heading east and eventually brings more snow to the east coast. What does this look like as far as accumulations at this point? Now, this is 3 days out, but this does not look like as strong of a clipper as we had last night and this morning, but still someone might get, this could be a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch kind of a storm on Thursday. We'll iron out the details, but it looks like probably enough to shovel, but not a huge thing. And again, the timing right now suggests that it would not be first thing in the morning. It'd be more of a problem for the afternoon commute on Thursday. So that's the next interesting system. And then as we head into the weekend, cold and blustery on Friday, but probably just some flurries. I think the weekend starts out with some sunshine. As we look at Saturday, there's another high drifting overhead. So cold start to Saturday. We could be close to zero, maybe even below zero, especially if it snows on Thursday. But then on Sunday, this is the next, kind of item of interest here. And now this is only Monday. We're talking about Sunday, so take this with a grain of salt. But some of the modeling suggests that another round of snow will head our way at the end of the weekend. This is Super Bowl Sunday coming up on the first day of February. Not going to even start to speculate about how much this one could bring, but we'll just have a chance of snow in the forecast for Sunday. Definitely some differences amongst the computer models this far out, but something to keep in mind. And we'll finish up today with a look at the long-range temperatures. Cold. December was mild. Winter got off to kind of a fast start in November, but then December, everything pulled back. It was a mild, snow-free month. January is going to end on a cold note. Thursday, ahead of that clipper, we do make a run at freezing. Might be about the only time we hit freezing anytime soon, because here's the weekend and into next week, pretty cold, teens and 20s. Beyond that, not much of a reprieve. So winter's kicking into high gear. I suspect the next 2 weeks will kind of be the heart of winter. In other words, the most consistently cold and perhaps stormy part of the entire winter, most likely to unfold over the next 2 weeks, last several days of January into maybe the first 10 days of February. So that's the way it's looking as we sit today. We'll, of course, keep you updated on social media and on TV on WFMJ.com/weather. We have the potential for 2 more snow events over the next week. Right now, especially the one Sunday, it's all just potential at this point. But there's definitely a lot of interesting weather to keep track of. So we'll keep you informed. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday. And if you are out and about traveling, again, there's some slick spots. So take it slow and you'll get there just fine.